Headlines most affecting Abbotsford this week: 13 years for a second-degree murder of a wife. An update on the foam spill at Stoney Creek. The Great Mission truck reroute continues. And the Abbotsford Canucks steal a coach, literally from down the highway. We'll have that coming up in sports. All right, Abbotsford, let's get started. Not really surprising, the Coastal Fire Center issuing a total campfire ban starting Friday. It runs until Halloween. If the weather changes for the better later in the summer, that could be amended. We say could. Last September, a number of pride flags and banners on the UFE Abbotsford campus were vandalized. It came to light that a few students thought it would be a funny prank. They were reprimanded by university staff. Fast forward to this past week, and a pride crosswalk on the same campus was desecrated with paint and graffiti. Now, as of airing, no one has been accused with the crime, let alone anybody coming forward and claiming responsibility. An Abbotsford man has now been sentenced in relation to a 2022 homicide. In July of that year, Abbotsford PD getting a call of an assault at a residence on Eastview Street. First responders attending located a 45-year-old woman, later identified as Kamaljit Kaur Sadhu of Abbotsford. She suffered life-threatening injuries. She later died. Her husband, 48-year-old Singh Sadhu, was arrested. In April of this year, he entered a guilty plea of second-degree murder. Then on July the 4th, he was sentenced to life in prison without parole eligibility for 13 years. Over the weekend, the City of Abbotsford continuing to work with the Ministry of Environment and Department of Fisheries and Oceans Canada, as well as local First Nations and Quantum Murray Environmental, to ensure that the recent spill that occurred at Stoney Creek has been addressed. Over a 3-day period, some 1,100 fish, almost 1,200 actually, were collected and moved to fresh water. Over 1,000 deceased fish had to be removed. To date, more than 211,000 gallons of water has been treated. Fish, sediment, water, and surrounding vegetation also being tested to ensure containment of any contaminants. This all happened after an accidental spill of firefighting foam that leaked from a fire hose from Abbotsford Fire. In Mission, Key West Asphalt scheduled to conduct intersection improvements for the truck rerouting project for Highway 7 from Glasgow Avenue to Catherwood Street. That's this week through till July the 16th. And during the period, single-lane alternating traffic will be in effect. Drivers are encouraged to consider an alternative route. Last Sunday, freelance broadcaster Bruce Claggett notified abbyTV of a grass fire under the BC Hydro transmission lines in Langley, and firefighters were quick to arrive on the scene. But this was eerily similar to what happened under BC Hydro lines in Harrison back on June 24th. In that case, BC Hydro crews were under the catchment of the power lines doing maintenance and clearance, and somehow the grass caught fire. In Mission, a citywide fire ban went into place, a ban on all open burning within the boundaries of the city until further notice. That has been upgraded because of the provincial fire ban that is on now. But the bottom line is no campfires, but you can still use your cooking stove or barbecue so long as it's a propane stove and it stays on private property. And finally, she was a business force to be reckoned with. Anita Huberman announcing she's going to leave the Surrey Board of Trade on August the 30th to explore, quote, new opportunities in a new chapter of her career. She's the longest-serving president and CEO of the Surrey Board of Trade. She served for 18 years, but which is unprecedented in this day and age, but she was 31 years with the organization, serving in a variety of roles, and built that organization up from a struggling entity to one of the largest organizations of its kind in Canada. Now, her work was closely watched by the Abbotsford Chamber of Commerce, and Chamber President Alex Mitchell says she is going to be missed. Coming up in sports, the Canucks steal a chief. That's coming up. abbyTV Sports, the BC Hockey League Chilliwack Chiefs, announcing that associate coach Andrew Shaw has accepted a position as video coach with the Abbotsford Canucks of the American Hockey League. Now, over his last 5 seasons with the Chiefs, he had a key role in implementing a new video and stats system. UFV Women's Volleyball hosting their indoor friendship tournament, one on July the 28th. They'll do it again August the 25th. It's a R4 friendship format. You and a partner of the opposite gender will play with and against other pairs in a 4 versus 4. Now, if you want more information, just go to abbotsfordvolleyball.com. Still with UFV, the basketball schedule has been released. With the women's basketball team, last year's Canada West bronze medalists, the UFV Cascades, look to bring more hardware back to the Fraser Valley. They'll take on Victoria at home on November the 22nd, and on the 23rd, it's a rematch of the bronze medal game. And with the men's basketball team, UVic will open their season on the road at Trinity Western November the 1st. Then they follow that with the home opener against UFV on November the 2nd. Now, just down the highway, the Langley Rams have one of the oldest junior football programs in the country. This year is their 75th season. So the Rams start their season on the road July 20th in Kelowna against the Okanagan Sun. Their home opener is August the 3rd against Prince George. The team is still looking for billets, so if you want to get involved, contact the team through their website. Coming up, Cari with the weather. abbyTV weekend weather. So, Cari, any let up in this heat wave?
Yes, Don, it is going to stay warm for quite a while. Summer is here with a vengeance. Temperatures have been in the mid to high 30s, but next week it's going to be a little bit more comfortable, high 20s, and feeling a little bit like 30, 35, but I can deal with that. Nothing but sun in the forecast. Fun fact, the largest pool floaty ever built was a 70-foot tall swan. I'd love to be out on the lake right now. How about you? Back to you, Don.
Thanks, Cari, and thank you for watching. And if you have a local news story you'd like us to report on, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. I'm Don Lehn.